Hello, everyone. I'm Marty Chinesky, and along with my good friend Ken Montroy, we are your host of the local sports wrap-up, local Wyandotte Cable Channel 15. Today is August 19th.
Got him.
We have a gnat problem in this building.
Not anymore.
Not
that
anymore.
Gnat's gone.
Got rid of that one. And 2020. Ken, haven't seen you in a week. How was your week?
Pretty good. The wife had a birthday, and she's working at home now. So her birthday present was a chair for sitting at home for 8 hours. And it proved out to be pretty good. Something she needed, and they're not going to go back until at least until January, so after December. So that's at that point in time, we decided to get a chair.
Nice, because she's in front of the computer, I'm going to assume, the whole time,
Yes,
maybe on the phone a lot.
Well, not really in front of the computer all the time because I have my needs, and she's been kind enough to take care of tilt me to the left, tilt me to the right, tilt me to the back, tilt me to the front. So I call on her, and she helps me out quite a bit. As you can tell, my go-kart helps me out pretty much.
Yeah, no, when you have your go-kart and not the wheelchair, I will say that you are very much more mobile.
Well, it gives me that sense of being normal because it's like when I drive. Oh, and I should tell everybody when I drive because if you're out there, you would be concerned about my footwork. But, yeah, so it gives me that feeling of when I'm driving that I'm normal. And psychologically is very important to existing well beyond your abilities to move your hands and legs and features.
Yes. You're driving. You usually have friends in the car, load you up, load you out.
Screamers, too.
Huh?
Screamers.
Watch it, Ken. Watch it. Look out. Ken. Stop. And I had a couple of guests over on your wife's birthday. We had a nice night.
Oh, I had a wonderful time.
It was very nice.
You know, that just reminds me, Marty, I got to bring this up. You know, I don't move. And when you come over to visit me, you'll see me sitting in my chair. I don't get up from the time that you get there to the time I leave, or you leave. And I didn't know that we had roasted chicken. Now, you said, I heard that you had chicken, but chicken from Kentucky Fried Chicken, chicken from Myers, chicken from... You gonna kid me? You had Chicken Shack chicken?
We brought... Yes. I'm sorry you didn't know. I mean, you knew the next day.
We would go to Chicago at Boulder Peterson, and I would see my niece, and I would say, I wanted to find out any place that had roasted chicken around here. Finally, she was so happy to be able to tell me that they had roasted chicken. Whenever they did, then we started ordering roasted chicken. And you brought roasted chicken over, and I didn't know about it.
I didn't tell you, yeah.
And I ate one bite out of a cheese stick when I was hungry.
Well, little did we know.
Unbelievable.
I said we had a nice spread. There was food for 20, and you ate half a cheese stick.
Not even that, and didn't like it.
Well,
Unbelievable.
you got to dip it in something.
I tried. Humility.
Okay, big announcement this week. Unfortunately, no more high school football.
No. The Michigan High School State Athletic Association moved to push back the season to the spring. And that's extremely unfortunate for the kids. If I was playing, I would say the uncertainty of it being pushed back. Wouldn't you, Marty?
Yeah. You know, the switch was made based on consultation with state health department officials, and after surveying MHSAA member high schools on their progress and preferences after the first 4 days of practice, MHSAA said in a news release, football is considered a high-risk sport for potential spread of the COVID-19 virus.
There you go. High school, this sport is at risk for spreading it. And now we have a president who says, go ahead, and we're going to pass a bill, and I don't want to get political on this, Marty.
That's a different show.
It does go into our football. And it says that they want to alleviate the companies from telling you you have to go to work or else you're not going to get unemployment. You're not going to get anything. You're going to get fired from a company because we don't want the liability. And here, in my opinion, you have the high school athletic association stepping up to say, we don't want to be responsible for these kids because they're young. They're going to do crazy things. And because of that, we don't want to be responsible.
And the other thing, you don't know they still don't know how it affects you. You know,
long term.
Long term.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
And they probably won't know until long term gets here. You know, a decade from now.
Right. Correct.
We don't know. We don't know.
Correct.
And but hey, wear your mask. You know, because
absolutely, wear your mask.
The
keep on wondering.
34,219 student athletes played football in the MHSAA member schools during the 2019
That's a lot of kids.
603 teams.
603 schools?
Well, no, 520 11-player teams and 83 8-player teams.
Oh, okay.
So
8-player teams?
They do that 8-player game. You never seen the 8-player game?
Well, when I play flag football, maybe.
No, it's a different concept. They do the state finals, I believe, at Ford
With
Field.
8-player teams?
It's different concept.
Well,
like
I
three
get
people
that.
rushing or two people. It's
Can
tackle.
you elaborate that a little bit more?
I can't.
Could be another show.
I can't. Yeah, another show.
Yeah.
We'll define all the rules for 8-player football
Right.
next
The 2
week.
will evaluate the 8.
Yes, we will. You know, volleyball, boys soccer, and Lower Peninsula girls swimming and diving, you know, are still on.
Are they?
Football is just out.
So what is it? They think that water doesn't. They don't know for 100% sure, but water's not really carry the virus.
I don't like any of that.
Do you know when I worked for Diffco Labs, they used to have, it was a microbiological company. So what they would do, they had the Exxon oil spill over there in Alaska. They took, and people don't know this, but microorganisms, certain microorganisms, will absorb oil. So if they put them in the water, they eat it, and then when they extract it, it isn't oil anymore. It breaks it down. So they put billions on billions on billions of these microorganisms for the Exxon oil spill. The only problem was that water was so cold, they died quick. So they couldn't eat their share. Now in the Pacific, they could. And that's why it's used a lot in the Pacific. But getting to the point is that you don't know what's out there, what could be eating, not eating. Now, all of a sudden, you're swimming somewhere where all these microorganisms are eating oil. What ones don't eat oil? Skin? I mean, who knows?
Hey, maybe that's where that skin eating disease
Well, I'll tell you what, that's why I don't go in the water too much.
Horizon League pulled the plug.
The Horizon League, that's huge. Now, locally, that's huge because we have so many teams involved in that, correct?
Oakland University,
Hillsdale.
University of Detroit, Mercy. No, not Hillsdale.
No, Hillsdale.
Wright State. Where's Wright State?
Wright State.
I
I think that's in Ohio.
Yeah. Cleveland
Could be
State,
wrong.
Youngstown State, Green Bay, Milwaukee, Robert Morris. A lot of these schools are at all the bowling things. But same deal. But they killed all fall sports. They killed cross country, golf, soccer, and volleyball.
So they're good until the spring, huh?
Apparently.
Wow. So I would assume that they probably have bowling too. Do they?
Oh yeah. I see a lot of these schools at Julius
Probably
Bowling
because of
meets.
the enclosure.
Bowling so far is out.
What do you think?
I don't think it's ever going to start back up.
No.
Not
Now, do they pay you from Wyandotte in case it's not?
I want it to start back up. Come on, it's my passion. That's my gig.
Oh, regardless of whether the kids play, it's your passion, exactly.
Oh, it's with my passion. I love teaching it. I love coaching
my whole life.
But how are you going to get all these kids in a high school in an enclosed area and keep them socially distanced, let alone adults? The league I'm in at Thunderbolt's got 54 teams. There's 250 people plus people watching in there all at once. And there's only 3 chairs down at the settee area.
Look at the business. The business ain't
Oh,
getting
they
any,
gotta
any
be
beers,
dying.
any
The
pops.
government has to step up and subsidize us some more money because Key Awards needs it.
Oh, see if they do that. Well, then you'll need some federally funding because the state does not have it.
No.
Because the businesses now are not paying the taxes.
No.
The
Well,
brick and
you
mortars.
cannot pay them. I paid mine because you cannot pay them, but they'll be due. They'll still be due.
Oh, they still do. Oh.
So I had enough to
Caesar
pay
wants
mine.
his money, and Caesar will get his money.
Caesar wants his money. I like that line. Last week we talked about. I think you have it in front of you.
Oh, I do.
The recreation guy, Justin Lanigan.
Oh, Justin
with
Lanigan.
the giveaways with the Parks and Rec. Well,
oh, no.
Caroline, our producer, had an interview with him. And so for the next couple of minutes, we're going to run that interview because he talks about what they're giving away and the people that have sponsored it, the Red Wings, the Lions. And so, Caroline, if you're ready, you can run that tape, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
So, although a lot of the programs have been canceled, baseball and football just being canceled, youth football, we've been staying busy. We've been teaming up with the Community Foundation of Southeast Michigan, and we've been running a program for the last 4 weeks. This will be our 5th week, where we've been passing out these Sportport backpack play kits, where we've been passing out activities for kids to do, roughly between the ages of 5 and 14. Where we've been passing out soccer balls, basketballs, kickballs, sidewalk chalk, jumping ropes, and this week partnered up with Major League Baseball and Detroit Tigers, and we're passing out a wiffle ball and a wiffle ball bat. And every week we include some sort of instruction sheet with different activities for the kids to do, special training on the theme of that week. We had a sheet from coaches from the Detroit City Football Club for soccer drills, dribbling drills from the Detroit Pistons, different type of games that can be played in the backyard for our kids, made-up games that are not sports related necessarily. And this week with some of the Detroit Tigers coaching staff doing different fielding, throwing, and hitting drills. And in future weeks, we plan on getting a street hockey stick and ball, and probably some instruction from Red Wings coaching staff. And then something football related from the Detroit Lions is supposed to be in the works as well. So we've partnered up with them through grants, and we've been able to do this all pretty much cost-free, city-wise. We didn't pay for anything for this equipment, but every week we've been passing out 300 backpacks a week, so that's been a great thing for the kids in the community.
Okay, you had mentioned that in order for the people to be aware of what's going to be handed out each week, to get in touch with.
Follow us on the Wyandotte Recreation Department on Facebook.
Okay.
Every week when we're doing a certain distribution, we make notices on there. With these Sportport backpack giveaways, the day and time could change depending on when we receive shipment, because sometimes they've been delayed. So normally we're doing it on Mondays, but this week we're doing it on Wednesday. And besides the Sportport giveaways, we've also been serving as a host site for Gleaners food distributions.
Really? Okay.
Every other Friday we've been teaming up with Gleaners.
Okay.
And then the next time will be August 28th. But since April, about twice a month with Gleaners has been here to distribute food to roughly 300 families in need. So.
Okay. Now, do they have to show you their income?
Nope. It's all a straight drive-through. People don't even get out of their car. They asked basic questions. Just I think they ask how many people in your household, and maybe your zip code where you're from, and that's it. You don't have to be necessarily a Wyandotte resident. It's trying to service the whole community in the area. So, but yeah, they drop off roughly enough food for 300 families.
Okay.
And what they don't pass out, I've reached out to usually the Salvation Army and the Wyandotte Soup Kitchen, and they come by, and if there's any leftovers, they scoop up whatever they can. So
Okay.
that's been a great program as well.
Beautiful. So you're still busy no matter what?
We're still busy. We're waiting to get the green light. The hockey boards are still up from last spring. I know the hockey people are getting the itch and hoping we're going to put in ice soon, and we got our fingers crossed and hoping that's going to happen. But with this pandemic that's going on right now, who knows when we'll put in ice and if there'll be hockey too this fall. So I know football's up in the air right now, so everybody's hoping for the best.
Okay. I happened to see DeSena yesterday as they were going to the city hall for their meeting, and I asked him how his hockey group's going to be. He said right now they're shut to January 1st. So that's with the college.
Yeah, he's the U of M Dearborn. Yeah, they have no hockey, no sports until January 1st at U of M Dearborn. So it'll be interesting to see what the high schools do, if they follow suit or what. So.
Hey, thank you. I know you're still busy because I tried getting in and you had called and another call.
The golf course, our golf course is doing extremely well. The golf course is, what I was telling somebody who's looking to book a golf outing is that our golf course is slammed. You can't go to the gym, you can't go to the movies, you can't go bowling, you can't do a lot of things, but you can golf right now. So a lot of people are golfing, and we're finding that there's a lot of people that are picking up golf and starting golf for the first time. But so our golf course is doing extremely well right now, and it's very, very. It's the busiest it's ever been. So
probably,
which is good news.
We got to get out in the air, and it's right down there. And
exactly, fresh air by the water, beautiful course.
Yeah.
So if people got a chance, they should stop on by and check it out.
Okay. Thanks, Justin. I appreciate the little time. You'll keep us informed then, or we'll come here and bug you, right?
And follow the Facebook page for any updates.
Okay.
We'll have to get you on there. You can join us and follow us.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Caroline.
All right, we're back.
All right.
You want to contact us, it's localsportswrapup@gmail.com. Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, and anybody wants to go down to get some free stuff, go down to the Yak
Wednesdays, yes.
And pick up some stuff. If you don't want to go Wednesday, you can go Thursday, because I think that's trash day. They're throwing everything else out. And you can pick it up outside the building if you don't want to go inside.
I want a wiffle ball bat because I have a baseball. I still have home plate in my backyard from when I raised my kids.
Wow,
and I need a new wiffle ball bat. Mine's trash.
Did you go up on the roof to get your wiffle balls, or is it out of your gutters?
Yeah, they bounce down.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
oh,
they bounce down.
Well, that's pretty cool. Well, Marty, we have a, the downriver area football coach is described as a roller coaster of emotions and dealing with the postponement. And I get all that. It's really tough on them. It's tough on dealing with the kids because the kids are emotional roller coasters at that age. And here they are prepping for their... Now imagine if you were a second team All-Stater. Now this year you got a shot to get to a major college. This is your career. This is, if not for your football, baseball, basketball, hockey, whatever career, it will be for your college education. And all of a sudden you're shut down. How does that make you feel? Especially the parent who might have to pay for that.
Yeah, you're talking to a parent who's paying for that.
Oh, okay. How's that feel? Not too good, huh?
Well, they interviewed some coaches in a ballpark way. Every situation certainly has its pros and cons. Ultimately, the ones I think who suffer the most are the players. They're moving it to the spring. There will even be some coaches that have a problem in the spring, because I know here in Wyandotte some of the football coaches coach softball team.
So they can't do both.
How are you going to do both?
So if that situation arises, I'm the football coach. What did you say?
Well, they're assistants.
Soccer?
Softball.
All right, I'm a softball coach. I say I'm head coach because I love it and I can regulate football and softball. Now I have to make a decision. What happens to the coach that's going to take their place? Doesn't know the players, Might not be able to help that young player or the older player to get that scholarship they're looking for. Because I came in and you know what, Mr. Janeski? Excuse me, I don't think you can play as well as Mr. Montroy there. So then you don't get to play. Now all of a sudden you were all set up, but because you don't have the
relationship
with the coach that you had before, it ought to teach your kids that life will change. And no matter what it is you think might be in front of you, you have got to work your butt off.
Yeah, I'll agree, and think about the multi-sport athlete that has to prioritize football over, let's say, baseball.
There you go.
Or track and field, or vice versa. The guy's a stud in baseball, but he likes to play wide receiver in football. And now, what's he going to do?
Right.
It's going to be, and then they're talking about, in the coming days, they're expected to announce the MHSAA. They're expected to announce new guidelines for how football teams will tackle working out, okay? Though not official, an abbreviated season of sorts with an expanded playoff field seems to be the primary course of action. Because right now you're limited to maybe the top 3 in each league get to go play playoffs in football, and it goes and it ends Thanksgiving weekend at the Ford Field. Generally, because the Lions always play on Thursday. Ford Field's open. Ford Field's going to be open in the spring too. But yeah, it's interesting. They might expand the playoffs.
So you're saying what they think will be the top 3?
No, I think they're going to expand it. They'll have a shortened season.
Right.
You better win all your games.
Like the Tigers.
They better win all their games, or win 5-1, something like that, win 800% of them. And then,
But therein lies that sounds really good in practicality. The only problem that I see is that, Eddie's running a fever. Mark's got COVID. Now all of a sudden, what are we going to do? Do we shut down the program? Now all of a sudden, I was one of the top 3. Now they're not going to take me. They're going to go to another school.
And think about that. Think about that in a nutshell. Little Joey has COVID or tests positive or runs symptoms.
Right.
Now, 50 people on the football team? Maybe 60. Some schools 100.
At home.
Some schools 100.
Oh, yes.
And then they all got to stay home. And then
quarantine.
we just played South Christian last week.
Right.
Or we played Wyandotte, or we played Trenton last week. Do we let them know? We better let them know.
Oh, yeah.
So now there's their 80 players. Now
that's what they call it tracing.
Tracing, yeah. That's not going on in this country at the moment.
Not yet.
Yeah. That being said, it's I don't see it happening.
It's good. It is so mind-boggling what can happen. Not what will happen. They can set up the perimeters for what will happen on normal circumstances. But the things that can happen based upon exactly what we discussed will be mind-boggling. All of a sudden you could have anybody playing at any time because nobody there contacted COVID, and yet the other teams did, and they're not in it.
I'll say this, bowling coach over there. I don't see us bowling. And no. I keep saying that to friends of mine. I'm in a great league on a Wednesday. Deluxe. It's a senior league. It's got some of the best bowlers in the state of Michigan in it. So that's why I'm in it. But that all being said, I just can't see us piling 300 people into Thunderbolt Lanes. Now, I love Vicky dearly, the manager there, and
She's been there for years.
Tom Strobel's always been good to me.
Tom's a great proprietor.
I do all their Hall of Fame stuff. He's been great to me.
Freddie McLean, great proprietor.
I've had the honor of doing all the trophies for the PBA when they come in, So, like, Norm Deuce got my stuff in his house. You can't say that.
Well, she had my picture in his house.
But that being said, I want it to happen, but how they had a protest in Lansing, open the bowling
That was
centers.
this past week, Wednesday, a week from today.
And I don't want
Or a
to
week
be a
past from
pessimist. I'm on their side, but I just think about how the high school game is even going to work.
Now look at their third biggest in the United States is Thunderbolt, and then you have like a small proprietor like Freddie McLean's place, Belmar Lanes.
Or Judy at Biddle Bowl,
And
8 lanes.
Judy at Biddle Ball. How do they survive? Of course, Judy and them have a renter up above them. Hey, Freddie, get a renter up above
Yeah,
you.
and
Or at
rent
least one in the back.
Rent out the bathroom or a room. You got a couple extra rooms
Not
there.
funny, but not funny.
No,
Gosh,
no,
I feel
right,
so
right,
bad
right.
for them.
All right, so we've got a few minutes left here. The Tigers are on a roll.
Tiger, which
They're
way?
On a streak.
Oh,
They're on a
downhill?
streak, yeah.
Yeah, I've been there before.
9-4 to I think they're like 9-11 now.
Well,
They can't seem to stop the other team from scoring 6 runs a game.
have you noticed most of Major League Baseball, it is incredible the runs scored. There is no longer a lot of pitching. The base running's bad. The fielding is horrible. Have you noticed that, or is it just me?
Our defense isn't very
Our
good.
defense is horrible.
It was
They-
really
they
bad
play like a
last
minor
year.
leaguer.
Yeah, it was really bad last year, and I believe this year it hasn't gotten any better.
Correct. And you could have their coach, Gardenheimer, come out here and say, well, they're professionals, this and that. Hey, I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying for the money that you expect us to pay to watch this particular type of baseball, I could watch that on a high school field anytime.
Oh yeah,
Anytime. Or the minor league, the Whitecaps. Isn't it the Whitecaps?
I umpired for 13 years. I did a decade of varsity baseball, and I'll tell you what, I've seen a lot of great games.
Don't you
I've
love?
seen
I
a
love
lot
good
of
games.
great games that were from behind the plate, right where
Correct.
I want to be. I was a catcher when I was younger. I was right there. I loved it. I saw a lot of great games, without having to pay for the
Pay
price of a ticket.
Not to count the $12 for a beer.
Not,
Not that anybody would condone that.
no, we won't condone that.
No.
The swimmers kicked off. One last thing, the swimmers kicked off. I was going to talk about it next week.
What's
but
that?
The pool over there in Trenton
Oh, yeah.
on West Road,
Oh, yeah, right by
that's
my
where
house.
they're all practicing outside because you can't get together inside with more than, 10 people or
Correct.
50. So they're all practicing at that pool. All the schools downriver
No,
are over there.
oh, wow.
They get a block of